Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do a drill with me, and um, I'm going to give you guys an update of what's going on around here and possibly do some tag questions. I haven't got that far yet. So, and we're just going to drill and chat while I work on my Egyptian Queen of the Leopards. As you can see, I'm moving right along. On this, I haven't done a whole lot. I mean, well, I did more than what I would have done all week, which is a good thing. So that's, but let's see. This week has been kind of quiet. Um, I ran errands Wednesday, paid the bills, did what I needed to do on Wednesday, and um, just kind of took care of everything I had to do on Wednesday. And then just really, that was it. Really didn't do a whole lot of anything else. So, and between schoolwork and all that kind of stuff, that's basically all we did. Justin graduates this week, so it's the way they're doing it is they are recording the kids walk across the stage, and then on the 30th they're gonna uh, have one big, I guess, ceremony on TV, and basically it's all going to be collated together. And the funny thing is, the way they have it done is there are going to be 10 students at each, I guess, on each day, and then only allowed to have uh, four family members. So that's going to be interesting to see. Now, I don't know if we have to wear masks or anything. They didn't say. So we'll see. But as it stands now, that's the way they're going to do it. And then I've been hearing rumors that school may not open at all next year. I don't know. And if they do, the kids will only go like one or 2 days a week, and then the rest of the time will be distance learning from home. So I'm not sure, and I'm not gonna like bank on that until I know for sure, and I'm just gonna go with it until I'm told different, because you never know. Who knows? I don't know. There for a while they were saying they weren't going to go back to school until January, and all I can think of is, oh my God, my nerves are going to be so bad. Because let me tell you, yeah. But I think it's going to be easier once Justin graduates, because that's where my nerves are afraid. Yeah, he's. I thought I was stressed out. Let me tell you something. Ugh, he stresses me. He gets stressed big time, and he. But I know why he does it, because they give you these huge, thick packets that have to be done. And let me tell you something. Oh my God. I never in my life some of this stuff, I just like, well, it wasn't Justin, but Skylar, but some of this stuff I don't understand. I was like, okay, you say so. Mm-hmm. But we're getting through it. He's doing what he's got to do. He gets upset. He don't want to do it because he thinks it's bull. Because, oh, I'm graduating. What difference does it make? I'm not. I shouldn't have to do this. Blah 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 blah. Because I'm already graduating. And I tried to explain to him that even though he's going to graduate, the work that he's doing now is still going to go towards his report card. These are the grades that are going to go on his report card that's going to get sent home or mailed home to me along with his diploma. So he's like, okay, fine, whatever. He knows he has to do it, but then again, yeah, he doesn't want to do it. So it's, and then I told him, I said, well, I didn't want to do a lot of my assignments, but guess what? I did. And I did them just to get him out of the way, and I didn't have to deal with it later. So he's been complaining, but he's been doing his work, which is the good thing. And Skylar, he's getting to that point too. He's just kind of like fed up, and he doesn't want to do it. But I told him, I said, sweetie, you have to do it. It's like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. So he's having a time. And no, we had to do a science assignment the other day. Oh my gosh, let me tell you something. I was confused. I looked at that and I was like, what? It was about energy transfer and the different ways that it could be transferred. I can't remember. And he and I were kind of totally like, we didn't know. And I told him, I said, well, let's read, let's look at the uh the the article, and let's look at they had a picture. Yeah, it was a picture of all the different, ways that energy could be transferred. And okay, you would think you would think they got a diagram, a picture to show him and I, and we still goofed it. Oh my gosh, it was funny. And he and I looked at each other, and I was like, I don't know. And after he finished, he said, do I have to do any more science? I said, no, I'm not going to make you do any more science. There's just no way. And I said, why? I said, I thought science was your favorite. And he says, but this was hard. So yeah, he was having a time. He and I can't say it was just him by himself because I was confused too. So, and he knew it. He knew I was confused. So it was an experience, a big one. So, and then they're supposed to read this novel. Well, his teacher told me they were going to mail it to him. Well, we haven't seen it yet. And so he's been able to get on YouTube and listen to it. And of course, he was like, do I have to listen to the whole thing? And I said, no. I said, just do your normal 20 minutes because um, every week they have a, uh, every, that's not, I don't want to say every week, but they, every night they're supposed to read 20 minutes, 20 or 30 minutes at a time. And then every day they're supposed to write in what they call an ELA notebook. And so I told him, I said, you can just watch this because that's what his teacher told him to do because we haven't gotten the book yet. And of course, he came out, he looked at me. He says, do I have to sit through any more of this? And I said, well, you haven't even been in there that long. And of course, he doesn't, I don't know what it is. I I don't know if it's because he would rather read the book or if he would rather, I don't know, but he didn't want to watch it. So I was like, okay. Um, so I told him, I said, well, you need to write in your ELA notebook and write about what you read about. And, then that'll be it. So I can tell he's getting tired of it, which, I wouldn't expect anything else from him. But I mean, he's been so good about it since all this started. And he was excited, even though he knew, you know, schools were closed because of this pandemic. He was excited that, he got to do, homeschooling from home. But now he's getting to that point. He's just like, do we have to? So I haven't had to fight him as much, but as Justin, but he's been pretty good, but he has his moments. So that was really it. And I got a big haul coming. I ordered. Now this has nothing to do with diamond painting or cross stitch. This is to do with my new video thing that I want to put up on my channel. And I ordered a bunch of supplies and I'm waiting for them. And I'm excited. So I can't wait for them to come in. And I, it's been fun learning how to, you know, decorate my planner page for my happy planner and, learning all the different ways to make your life a little bit more uh livable. So let's see. Goodness, I can't think of anything else. All I know. It's cold here today. Very cold. I'm about to freeze my butt off. I've got slippers on and I got my sweater on. So I'm cold. But yet 3 days ago it was 80 degrees. Explain that one. I really think, Mother Nature's having PMS. I'm telling you. It's crazy. I don't know. So that's really all that's been really, 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 really going on that I can think of. Of course, I didn't write it down this time. You would think, right? Um, hmm. Yeah, that's really everything that's been going on this week. I know it's one of those weeks. It seems like I have those weeks off and on where there's so much going on, and then oh yeah, you don't have anything. I do know next week I gotta start organizing um in here in my bedroom because I realized I was looking at stuff last night, and especially right around here, around my drafting table and my desk. So yeah, I've got to get organized. It's crazy. I've never realized how unorganized I was. Well, I mean, it's not. I take that back. I take that back. It's not unorganized, but it needs to be. You know, I don't know how else to put it. I don't want to say organized, but I guess it just needs to be. You know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I just don't know. So yeah. So, um, I'm thinking. That's really all that's been going on. It's just been one of those, like, slow weeks that really nothing's been going on. It's just kind of like, um, there's just not been a whole lot happening around this little lovely apartment that I call the Wall Insane Asylum. Okay, so I said I was going to do some tag questions, and, which I am. Um, you guys know that I love to read. I haven't been doing the greatest with that just the last couple of weeks, and I really need to, like, get up off my butt and do it. And so, you all forgive the background noise. He's in there doing something on his game. So I'm gonna answer. How many tag questions is it? I'm not sure. No, I think it's 20. Yes, it's 20. 20 tag questions about reading. Um, Now I don't. This came from several places because I clicked on the first link, and um, it came up with several different. It came up with the tag questions, and then I clicked on another link, and it was the same tag questions. So basically, there's a lot of people that are doing the same tag questions. So without further ado, y'all are gonna hear about that. Okay, first question is, how many books is too many books in a series? Um, I kind of don't like a series. Um, I usually, truthfully, I think three. Uh, except for like, okay, except for like Twilight, which I've only read that once, and um, again, I wasn't, I'm not really into that, but there's, I just, if it goes past three or four, I lose interest altogether, because the first, book or whatever usually has, you're reading about the main characters, and then, eventually they go on to add, other characters. And my thing on that is, if it's not about the same characters, then I just don't, I don't care. I mean, that sounds rude, but I just don't, I just think, anything above three or four books is just too much for me. I mean, it really all depends, um, on the author and so forth. But me personally, I just think anything above at least three or four books is just too much. Uh, The next question. Wait a minute, I'm trying to get a drill. Goodness. The next question is, how do you feel about cliffhangers? Um, I don't like them because, you, especially when you're at the end of a book and you're reading the book and then, it leaves you hanging. I can't. I can't. If you're not going to finish the book or add another, you know, add a sequel, what's the point of the whole, it just it makes no sense to me at all whatsoever. Same thing when it comes to like TV shows and they leave you hanging for, a whole nother year. Okay, really? And that's just ridiculous. That's just me. Anyway, that's just that's just my opinion. And you know what they say about opinions. So, um, do you prefer hardback or paperback? Truthfully, it doesn't matter. I like both. And um, but then again, now that they have e-readers out, it really doesn't matter. Um, I like I like the paperback a little bit more than I do hardback, just because I know you're not supposed to bend, you're not supposed to mess up the binding and the spine and all this kind of crap. But I like the paperback because I can take, the take it and fold it over in half or whatever if I want and read. Yeah, you know what I mean. Uh, my favorite book. It depends. Goodness, my favorite book. Oh Lord. My favorite book. My favorite book. Gosh, I really don't have a favorite book. I'm trying to think. My favorite book. Jeez. Um. mm, Good grief. I don't really have a favorite book. Um. um. Gone with the Wind. I like the book, and I've read the sequel to it. Oh, what is it called? Scarlet. And I like, I I don't know if it's because of the Civil War era. I don't know. I just like the book. I mean, there were some parts in the book that, but that was one of my favorite books that I liked. So, uh, least favorite book. Oh my God. Um, Good gosh. My least favorite book. Mm, mm, Good grief. I don't know. It. I haven't seen the movie, but I did read an excerpt from the book, and I couldn't. Yeah, it was just too creepy for me. Most of Stephen King's books are kind of creepy. Um, I just couldn't get into. Uh, I can't. They used to give me nightmares, but now I'm now like The Stand after watching the uh, miniseries on TV when it was, when it came out. It wasn't so bad, and then I picked up the book and read it. But I can't. There are some of his books I can't. But it and The Shining are my least favorite. They scare me. I'm not one of these ones that likes reading books like that. Love triangles, yes or no? Oh gosh, no. I'm sorry. I know that sometimes that they're good, a good plot to the story, but really, just really, those things are too much drama, and it's confusing. I don't understand. But then again, there are some that I can, you know, enjoy, and I just can't. They're just too much. I mean, too much drama. They remind me of the love triangles on TV. Those can be too much drama. It's just, I get it. Okay. I mean, it adds to the story, and it can keep people on their toes and so forth. But no, it, to me, that just, I don't know. Let's see. The most recent book you couldn't finish. Oh, Lord. Um, hmm, The President is Missing. I couldn't finish that. I Don't get me wrong, Bill Clinton and James Patterson did a great writing job with that, but the plot just, it reminded me too much of current events that happened, and I just couldn't. I couldn't. It was just, and I don't read political, you know, but the only reason that I picked it and the only reason that I got it was because it sounded interesting, first off, and then, it it sounded like, a good plot, and it sounded intriguing because, as the title says, the president ends up missing. And I thought, okay, maybe this will be, you know, something that I'm not saying, I have it on my audio, my audio audible and everything. And I'm not saying I won't listen to it further down the line, but it just, I couldn't. I couldn't get into it just because of, and this was, I was listening to it when they were trying to get President, when they were trying to impeach President Trump. And it was too much like the current events that I couldn't. So, let's see. A book that I'm currently reading. I'm actually listening to one. It's called Lightning by Dean Koontz. Then I'm reading, it's a sci-fi uh, book called Space Wolf. And They're pretty good. They are pretty good. Um, the last book you recommended to someone, oh dear God, I'm trying to think. Truthfully, I don't even remember when I recommended a book to somebody. I'm thinking. Mm, um, I don't even remember. I couldn't tell you. I really couldn't. And that's bad when you can't remember something like that. Um, the oldest book you've read, the Bible. I have read that so many times. That is, and you know it's funny. I'm I'm not okay. I don't want to say I'm not religious, and I don't want to say I am. I was raised in a Christian home, so I read the Bible, front and left. I don't know how many times, and but yes, I've read the Bible. That's one of the oldest books I've ever read. Let's see. The newest book you've read. Oh, good gosh. I haven't really read any new books except for The President is Missing, and that was right after they released it on Audible or audiobooks. That's really, I mean, I haven't really actually, like gotten any new releases. Favorite author. Mm, I have so many. Um, if I could pick just one, which is what I'm going to do, I'm going to pick just one. I would have to say Patricia Cromwell. I like her crime drama thriller novels. Um, and I said they're educational. I mean, she does a lot of research to look up to, for her book just to get the right, technical terms for um, each, you know, for a crime scene and so forth. And I like her her books. Sorry, I'm trying to push this down. Okay. Buying books or borrowing books. I, b- I buy used ones from thriftbooks.com. I haven't bought any lately. Um, I borrow them from the library using the Hoopla app. And of course, they don't have a lot of the books that I like, but did find I did figure out a trick with that. And now that I know, I will use it. But you can go in and like just type in the name of the book and it'll pop up, because there was a book I was looking for a couple weeks ago and it didn't come up. And of course this drill does not want to come out. Um, they didn't have it in the selections. But when I when I searched for the book itself, it came it came up. So that was it just really all depends. Uh but I do like to have regular books, I do like to buy books. I have a bookcase full of books in my living room. and that I have books all over, up there. Can you read while listening to music? No. No, I get confused. And I get all um I could be reading a book and then start singing the song and then totally forget what I was reading. No, I can't do that. It's just there's no way. I'm not that coordinated when it comes to that. Um, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? Um, Good grief. Usually it takes me a while to read, you know. I used to. I used to be able to sit and read a book in one day. I could sit all day long and just read the book. But no, I have to take my time with it. Because to me, if I don't take my time with it, I totally get lost and I won't understand the plot of the story. If that makes any sense. Let's see. One book you've read because of the cover. Oh my gosh. One book I've read because of the cover. Um, I'm trying to think. I can't really I can't really answer that question. Um, I couldn't even tell you, to be truthful. Um, there are some books that I've read because of the cover and I didn't find interesting. There are others that I did and they were pretty good. It just really, it just all depends. Sometimes, even if the cover looks, you know, even if the cover is appealing, I and then, I read the synopsis of it. If it doesn't sound good to me, I won't read it. I won't even think about doing it, picking the book up because, you can't you can't go by what the cover looks like. Um yeah, you can't judge a book by its cover. And, it just really all depends. I have to read the synopsis first before I can decide, okay, well, maybe it will sound good. Now, that's not saying that, okay, it sounds good in the synopsis or the summary, but that's not saying, oh yeah, once I start reading it, it's going to be okay. It's not. It's not always like that. It doesn't always happen that way. There are some that uh that have sounded good and then, I start reading them and oh no, I can't. It's just there's just some books that I just can't. I don't care. I don't care what the cover looks like. To me, it just all depends on that. Mm. One point of view or multiple point of views. I get. I like both. Now, with the multiple point of view, I really have to be paying attention. In other words, I have to be sitting and really, really concentrating and following the story and making sure, you don't miss something. I'll go back and reread a couple of times. Like, say, for instance, not now, but say, for instance, I'm reading one book and it's got, like 3 or 4 multiple point of views. There are times that I have to go back and read the page or read the point of view before, and just to make sure that I remember what's going on. And when you put it down, it's hard to go back into following what the multiple point of view book is, because you have to go back through and do the same thing, reread what you've read before you put it down, so you don't get confused, if that makes any sense. I know I'm probably not making any sense. um mm, let's see, there was one other question I did not answer. Bookmarks or dog ears? I use index cards to bookmark or to mark where I leave off. I used to fold my pages over, and I don't remember where I picked up the bookmark idea. I used to use a paper clip, and I didn't like that idea because the paper clip, I would always end up losing the paper clip that was keeping the place where I had marked my place. So, but now I just use a index card, and that's easier for me to keep track of, especially when it's a different color than what, and I've got to fill that up, than what it is. Let's see, what else? A book you can always reread. Hmm. A book that I can always reread. Oh, goodness. Um, I have to say any of the Tom Clancy ones that he's written about. He's written for the Jack Ryan series. Um, I love that series, and he's also one of my favorite authors. But I love reading uh, that series. I forget how many are in that series, but it's a lot. I don't have them all. I need to get them all. But yeah, there's some pretty good. That's one series that I really, really, I like to read and reread. Sometimes, it doesn't matter how many times you read it. You always, you always come across something that you missed the first time. Let's see. A book you dislike that everyone seems to like. The Game of Thrones books. I can't. I've tried. I started listening to those books and I thought, okay, because when the TV shows came out, I thought, okay, this sounds, you know, I thought cool. Maybe it'll be like the book. No. The book, oh my God. The book is so confusing. All of them are. And I can't, I tried. Mm-mm. It just, I mean, I could follow along, okay, for a while, but then it was like, okay, I don't understand. And I mean, even the TV show got to be that way. And I couldn't watch it anymore. And it's just something that I just didn't like. I just, I don't know why. It was just something I just didn't, it didn't appeal to me. Let's see. Is there another question? I want to make sure before I like, I think that's it. Um, hmm, I think that's it, guys. Yeah, that's the last question. So, thank you for watching. I know that was really, um, but thank you guys for watching and listening to me run on about all my favorite books and so forth. And yeah. So, if you have any questions, comments, please, comment below and make sure if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up. And I hope everyone has a great week, and I will see you all next week.